Diddly do, YouTube Diddles here, and today I'd like to share a story about a show I'm pretty sure many of you are familiar with, and that would be Eddsworld. You can just follow along with the story or just mute me and watch this speed draw or whatever I wouldn't call it art, but I mean, it's something. But I just want to share a little story about my history with this show because unfortunately it's not as happy as I would hope that it would be, but I guess it has a happy ending. So, the first time I heard about this show was when I was in middle school. I don't remember what year it was. All I know is that I was in the 7th grade and I was finally starting to be good at art. I mean, if you want to call it art. I can look back now and say that it was utter garbage what I was drawing. But back then I was proud of it, so I was just going around showing it off. And I don't know if it was just my school or if this was a thing, if this is a thing that actually happens at schools or in just other middle schools. I don't know what I'm saying, but for some reason in almost every class I went to, it seemed like everyone was in a huge Eddsworld craze. And it just bothered me how whenever I would go to class and want to show someone my art and be like, oh wow, you're really good, you should animate this. Speaking of animation, have you seen Eddsworld? It's actually really good, you should check it out. That's basically what I dealt with on a daily basis when I wasn't getting bullied for being a fat, chubby kid who draws Sonic art in the corner. Hold on, Sonic's not art. Drawing Sonic in the corner. And, yeah, I guess you could say, me being a small prepubescent child, I was jealous of a guy who I didn't even really know. I didn't do any research on him. I didn't look him up. I didn't watch Eddsworld, that's for sure, because I was so jealous of this guy who I just refused to learn about. So, a couple years pass. It's 2012. You all know what happens in 2012. It's, for some reason, it's all over the news that this famous YouTuber, Ed Gold, has passed away from cancer. Now, as soon as I heard that, I started having Vietnam flashbacks to me being... I'm pretty sure if he knew me, he probably wouldn't care. But I just had these terrible flashbacks to me being such a jerk towards this guy who I didn't even know. And now that I said it out loud, it sounds stupid. But I just had terrible flashbacks to how I just utterly despised this guy and wanted people to pay more attention to my stuff instead of actually being happy that there was another person out there spreading the joy of animation. So, yeah. So I decided to watch one of his Eddsworld's episodes. I'm pretty sure it was WT Future. What the Future, I guess I'll call it. But I guess it didn't interest me. But I decided I should watch it out of respect. But it just didn't interest me in the slightest. So years pass. Now it's 2016, and I'm browsing the internet looking for more animated shows to watch. I'm in the middle of watching Camp that has nothing to do with the story. I might do another story time video with that one. I mean, you can tell me if you want me to, because that show is really good. But I was browsing through and I decided to ask some people if there were any animated shows that they knew of on the internet that I could watch to get me hyped for How to Tube, which is another show, which is an animated show that I'm going to be working on. And I don't have a planned date for when the first episode is going to come out, because animation is a hard process. It's very long and hard. Like my pee. So I asked around and tried to see if anyone had any other suggestions for me. And they said, even though it's been over for like 2 years, you should check out Eddsworld. See if... Now, I was still kind of skeptical because What the Future didn't really hit off with me the first time I watched it. So I went to a friend who was a very rabid enthusiast of Eddsworld, and I asked him, do you think I should check this out? Because I'm looking for things that'll get me hyped to start working on this show, and everyone's saying that Eddsworld is something I should check out. So when I asked him that, he said, yes, you should definitely check it out. But here's what I want you to do. I don't want you to watch any random episode. I want you to go back to the very beginning. Go back to the earliest Eddsworld episode that you can find. And just, tell you what, just find a playlist and just watch them from the beginning to the end. And now I understand why he said from the beginning to the end, because, haha, very funny. So I went back to the very beginning and I just watched the episodes. I just marathoned it to see what the big deal was about. And then before I knew it, I had fallen in love with all of these characters. Tord, Tom, Matt, and Ed. Just all of them. They were just so amazing. And I just found myself eager to get home to watch the next episode and the one after that and the one after that. And I had actually come to respect Ed Gold for what he was doing, because I believe in one of the documentaries I watched, Tom said that he didn't think about when to upload these videos. He just uploaded them and then he would go right back to working on the next one, and that type of work ethic something about it was just so amazing. So I ended up gaining a lot more respect for Ed Gold and Eddsworld, and I ended up just falling in love with the series. And then I remember getting to Space Face Part 1 and seeing, I hope some of you know the exact part in the video I'm talking about, but when the alien shows Ed, Tom, and Matt the bridge, I couldn't help but notice the light above Ed's head going out. And then right after that scene, you see that's where Paul took over. So is the exact point where I realized that Ed was gone. That was my sudden realization that Ed was gone, and I had spent all these years just technically purposefully avoiding this series because I was jealous of this man who I thought was, since I was a small prepubescent child, I thought he was just trying to take the spotlight away from me. But in short, I just want to say that after sitting down and watching this series, I realized that a lot of these years I missed out on this amazing talent and this amazing series because I was too young and stupid to realize that I was being stupid. But I feel like I've rectified that. This picture is a symbol that I've moved on. So what does any of this story have to do with anything? Really, nothing. It just shows that I love Eddsworld. And I think I might have to watch it again. So, diddle out.